que llevo en la mano corazón, y ahí nos vamos, si nos dejan, de todo demás nos olvidamos. Si nos dejan, si nos dejan.
Thank you very much. This is Malachi Centenario. With our vocalist, Carter Patito. One more round of applause, please. Thank you.
Welcome to our
7th annual Spartan Media Day.
wait, 7th?
Yeah, it's the 7th.
Wait, that was the 6th.
No, it's the 7th.
Oh, it's the 6th, 7th! Oh, no? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, so Media Day. Today's our 7th annual Media Day, and today what we're going to talk about is Spartan Shielding Yearbook, but mainly Spartan Shield. Vanessa, what is Spartan Shield?
I'm glad you asked. So, Spartan Shield is our school's journalism class where we write articles and also record podcasts and broadcasts.
Cool. All right. Now, my name's Alexander again, and this is Vanessa. But Vanessa, what's up with the crime scene behind us?
The crime scene? Oh, you mean back there? So on Tuesday, our school is going to be hosting elections, so that's why back there you can't go until further then.
So yeah, if you guys do need to use the restroom, you guys cannot go back there. I think you guys need to go to the main building for the restroom. Do not quote me on that though. So if you guys need to use the restroom, just ask your teacher and they'll lead you on. But remember, we are presenting, we are going to perform for you guys. So we are in the auditorium. We want you guys to please keep quiet and to, of course, clap when someone is done talking, because this is for you guys.
Yeah, and as you can see back here, it's amazing theater department made this for the school play, and we kept it back here because tomorrow Mr. H wants to use it as a backdrop for the concert, which you guys should all be attending.
All right.
Wait, Alex, I just thought of a joke right now.
Great.
So, how does a tree access the internet?
How?
It logs in.
Anyway, without further ado. Alright, let's give it out for the man, the myth, the legend, El Jefe himself, Mr.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to the 7th annual Spartan Shield Media Day. Thank you for all for joining us today. My name is Mr. Tom, and I've been the advisor of Spartan Shield for the last 8 years. Before that, the program was held by Dr. Parker, who turned a small theater club into a thriving theater program. Huntington Park was established in 1909, and Spartan Shield was created in 1925, making us 100 years old and the longest running organization on campus. We have been working on this show for the last month and a half, but in reality, we've been working on it the whole year. Today, we're going to present stories and highlights from this past year. Our students are going to introduce everything we've covered from culture, from news, from opinions, and then we're going to end with a special interview with 2 guests from the profession. Once again, Spartan Shield is a news publication of HPSS, and it was written and edited and produced by journalism students of Huntington Park High School. I run Journalism 1, which is an intro program, and if you're interested in Spartan Shield, you'll be able to apply and join Journalism 2, which is Spartan Shield. For nearly 100 years, the Spartan Shield published a newspaper. In the last 8 years, we have moved our journalism program to the current times and have established an online presence with a website, a broadcast, and a podcast. Our program is growing and we need your help. For students interested in joining journalism, please come see me in room 412 or just ask any of your English teachers, they know where to find me. Without further ado, I think you guys enjoyed the jokes of my guest speakers. Let's bring back our student speakers. Our first one you just met, and the second one you heard earlier. We have my culture editor, Alexander Damian, and my opinions editor, Vanessa Delgadillo.
All right. So, hi again.
Hi. Wait, Alex, I just thought of another joke right now. So, what are twins' favorite fruit?
Twigs?
Twins.
Oh, twins. What are twins' favorite
A pear.
fruit? A pear.
A pear. Get it?
Okay, that one was good, I guess. Whatever. Anyway. So, my name is Alexander. I am the culture editor for Spartan Shield. Now, before I introduce what culture is, I feel like I should introduce myself. So, again, my name is Alexander. I'm majoring in political science at Cal State LA. And this is my first year in Spartan Shield. It could have been my second, Mr. Talk, if you're hearing this. But as a junior, I took Spartan Shield, I took Journalism 1, and then I took Spartan Shield. So culture, to me, culture is pop culture. So I would talk about film, I'll talk about music, I'll talk about a lot of things that happen in Hollywood. And one of the big stories I would like to give a big shout out was one that I made, which was Never Enough, which talked about Turnstile. So Turnstile was a big band that basically popped up last year, and the reason why I gave them a shout out was because they used to be underground and just make shows like backyard shows and like not big events, and I wanted to give them that big spotlight because one thing that I loved about music was because you always start from the bottom and work your way up. So I feel like giving shout out to underground bands and giving shout out to even student artists is a really big thing in journalism because you always want to give that exposure to people because not everything is handed to them. So of course, like when they work hard, you want to show that to the people.
Hey, thank you, Alex. Again, my name is Vanessa Delgadillo. I'm the opinions editor on Spartan Shield. So what exactly is opinions? Opinions is a group in the Spartan Shield class which you're basically writing articles on your opinions or like informing someone about a topic that you feel very strongly about. And if you know me, you know I'm a very opinionated person. And so when I heard about this, I knew that I wanted to join this. And this is my first year in Spartan Shield. Currently, I'm committed to UC Santa Barbara with a major in political science to hopefully later go to law school and then become a defense attorney. So one major article I wanted to highlight was written by one of my staff, Giovanni Juarez, titled, "We Need to Be Aware the Trump Administration is Lying to Your Face." The reason why I chose to highlight this article is because of the amount of research and time that was put into creating this article and how well written it was. And after this, you guys should all go on the Spartan Shield website and read not only this one, but all the other articles that all of our amazing staff write. So now I'm
Wait.
Oh.
Before we go, I have a joke for you.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Go.
Okay. A bear walks into a bar.
Okay.
Bartender says, "What would you like?" The bear says, "I'll take a rum and a Coke." The bartender says, "Why the big paws?" The bear says, "I don't know. I was born with them."
Anyways, on to our next speakers, Wendy and Adrian, who are features and sports editors.
Good afternoon, my name is Adrian. I'm the sports editor of Spartan Shield. This is my first and only year in Spartan Shield, and I'll be graduating in class of 2026. And this year I oversaw the sports department, and we wrote about the sports across campus. We cover sometimes sports going on around in the sports world, but primarily we focus on HP. We would cover whatever they were struggling or doing good, trying to give them the exposure that they deserve. My plan for the future is to stay in Cal State Fullerton, majoring in information engineering and a minor in journalism. One article I'd like to share from you guys is HP versus Bill Robberies to be written by my Renee Dejas. It gives you a really in-depth look on the history of the two schools and how much they hate each other since like the 1910s, something like that. And it gives you a real in-depth look. I suggest y'all check it out. I'll let you give the mic over to our features editor, Wendy.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm the features editor for Spartan Shield. I'm also involved in broadcast and podcast. So besides Spartan Shield, I've been involved in Color Guard. I was captain for 1 year. I'm also part of yearbook and I'm a peer tutor after school. So after high school, I want to go to UC Irvine to study public health sciences and I want to become a nurse in the future. The story I want to highlight today was written by Zuhei Aguilar. It's Inside the Kitchen, Chef Gordillo transforms students through culinary education. I want to highlight this story because of Chef Gordillo's impact and the impact that he has for the community here at HB through his culinary work and through his students. It was a very well written piece and it dives deep into who Chef Gordillo really is as a person and his passion through giving back to the community. So now I want to invite our news editor, Monse, and our news assistant editor, Asu.
Hi y'all, we're the news department. My name is Monse Bucio. I'm currently a junior, and this is my first year in Spartan Shield, but I'm also the president of the debate club, and I've been a peer health advocate for the last 3 years.
Hello everybody, my name is Azul. As assistant editor, I pretty much just take over when Monse is not here, and I give her little tips on articles. Some things I'm a part of here at the campus are I'm a part of the Familia Unida Club, where it's my first year as a member. I'm the president of the band club, and obviously I'm a part of Spartan Shield and band. Later in the fall, I plan on attending UC Merced with plans to major in biology with emphasis on molecular and cellular biology. Here at Spartan Shield, I'm a part of the podcast committee as well as the broadcast section. And yeah, pretty much on news, I just write articles and Monse checks them. Back to Monse.
Okay, so a little bit of what news is. So news can range from a lot of things, from what you see on the Spanish news like Univision and Telemundo to what you see on the English news with ABC, CBS, etc. Here at Spartan Shield, news can range from school news like the Baptist Showcase, band winning an award, debate going to nationals, etc. to world news like the Iraq War, the Venezuela war, or even this story that we're going to highlight today, which is more local to us because it's happening in Bell. So this story was Stop the Displacement, Bell Mobile Residents Fight Back Against the Relocation Act. So if you don't know, the city of Bell has a mobile home park, but they're planning on using that land for development. And obviously that leads to displacement of almost 500 families, and it's still an ongoing issue, and they're fighting for their right to keep their home. So if you want to know more, you could obviously check out the story, but I also encourage you to be more involved in like your current politics with that city of Bell, especially if you live in that area or near. But for now, we'll go on to yearbook, and I'll welcome Audrey Carrillo, Joanna Aguilar, and our features editor, Wendy Sanchez.
Hey everyone, I'm Audrey Carrillo, the 2026 editor of the yearbook staff.
And I'm Joanna Aguilar, the co-editor-in-chief. We just wanted to give a quick overview of what the class is.
Yearbook is a collaborative course where staff members work on different parts that come together to create a physical product. We have groups like student life, sports, and academics that cover different activities and moments that happen throughout the school year.
Staff members also conduct interviews with students, players, and faculty to add extra details to the pages. In the end, we work together to bring it all together and convey a theme to the readers.
This year's theme is timeless, and here's a video based on that.
Be young, be foolish, but be happy. Be young, be foolish, but be happy.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your time and buy a yearbook.
Now we're going to introduce our broadcast team with Emily, Sammy, and Rudy.
What's up, Spartans? How we feeling? Hi, hello everyone. My name is Rudy, and I've only been in Spartan Shield for 1 year. During my time in Spartan Shield, I was a news anchor, and I was a reporter and a part of broadcast, as you guys can see here. During Spartan Shield, I really encourage it because it allows you to elevate your social circle, talk with others, and communicate. A few examples are like, I thought I was involved when I was in Spartan Shield because I was already doing sports and clubs, but when I joined Spartan Shield, it really just opened up my eyes to everything else in the community, and that's why I really encourage it. Outside of Spartan Shield, I participate in a few extracurriculars, notably sports. I'm a part of cross country, soccer, track and field, and SRLA. I was announced captain for each of these sports due to my effective leadership skills. And after high school, I'll be taking my studies to the University of Irvine, where I will get my bachelor's in biomedical engineering. And with this degree, I will aid those with disabilities by innovating medical devices and prosthetic objects. So on that note, let's pass it off to our co-director of broadcast, Samantha Castillo.
Hello, my name is Sammy, and as Rudy said, I am the co-director for broadcast. Aside from broadcasting, I also write for the features committee, and I am also part of the podcasting team. Outside of Spartan Shield, I have been a part of cheer for the last 3 years, and I have also been a yearbook staff member for the last 2 years. After high school, I will be attending UC Santa Barbara, and I plan on taking my education further to pursue a career in pediatric nursing. While being at Spartan Shield, I have taken on the responsibilities of completing stories for each issue, providing my assistance for broadcast episodes, and overall coming in to plan new episodes and story topics. I will now be passing it on to our broadcast director, Emily Negrete.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily Negrete, and I have been a part of Spartan Shield for 2 years. I joined my junior year mainly writing for the features committee and also working closely alongside with the broadcast directors. Apart from Spartan Shield, I've also been involved in many extracurricular activities, both in school and outside of school. In school, I've been a part of Film Club for the past 4 years, the Believers Club, and MESA. Outside of school, I've served as a secretary for the school site council. I'm also part of a worship band, serving as a bass player. I'm also a leader for my youth group while preaching for kids and directing during service. I also have been working as a second-hand worship leader. And in regards to my future plans, I have committed to UCLA and will be attending in the fall semester, majoring in pre-education and social transformation. With this major, I hope to help teenagers who come from disadvantaged communities and backgrounds, and my goal is to give them greater opportunities and help them in regards to applying to college. This year, I took on the role as broadcast director, and I'm also an anchor and part of the podcast team. My job was to lead a group of reporters who report on school news of things such as football games, sports, or featuring certain clubs. And we also report on things going on in our community. I edit all the episodes and upload them onto our YouTube page as well, and write scripts for our filming days. This year I have learned a lot about what it means to be a leader, and I'm grateful for the team I was able to put together alongside working with my co-broadcast director, Sammy. And this year we have made a lot of memories, so for one last wave of nostalgia, here's a recap of all the bloopers from this year.
Today we have plagiarism policy. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 from Melanie.
That's my fucking line.
Melanie!
You just said it. It's good.
Oh, sorry.
Why am I saying Halloween?
It's okay. It says Halloween.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think the word huz means?
I think it means like got it together, cool or something like that. No.
Or we have a club spotlight. We have oh my goodness. And what are we doing?
Wait, stop. Here with the recap, we have 9. What's so funny, Victoria?
Yeah, 900.
Wrong. That was it. Gosh.
I don't understand.
I stuttered. 1, 2, 1, 2. This can interfere with functions like breast food.
Go, do it again.
Was that way? Yeah, that way.
That way. Go that way. Then I'm here at senior night
Good morning, Spartans.
Why'd the power go off?
Is it raining?
Rain isn't the only thing that causes a power outage.
What are we supposed to do now?
You know what comes next.
We hope we all had a Halloween.
Wait, you guys didn't go to sleep.
I would put Alexander Gaming here with a testing 1, 2. Emily, calm down.
This is reporter Melanie Gomez.
The message machine is inspired by.
Hold on, I have to be the one asking the questions.
I do have to.
Okay, so that was a little bloopers video. Moving on to our editor-in-chief, we have Victoria Gonzalez.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victoria Gonzalez. I have been part of Spartan Shield for 3 years. Throughout my 4 years of high school, I participated in many other extracurriculars on and off campus. I am the president of an LAUSD District Council, the Student Attendance Advisory Council, parliamentarian of the School Site Council, student representative of the local school leadership council, co-president of the Stress Free Club, and co-captain of the academic decathlon team. This past month, I committed to the University of Southern California, majoring in journalism at the Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. Throughout the 3 years I spent part of the team, I was a member of various committees. My first year as a sophomore, I was constantly either in the Culture Opinions Group and the Photography Committee. In my junior year, I was promoted to a higher role as a culture editor while still being part of photography. This year, I am the editor-in-chief, where I have the lead role of upholding the journalistic integrity of Spartan Shield. I am also the photography committee lead, social media lead, and a member of broadcast where I occasionally anchor episodes. As the editor-in-chief, I was in charge of leading the issues we wrote and meeting with the groups and editors to make sure every article was ready for our website. The past 3 years being part of Spartan Shield has not only taught me how to work as a team and have heavy determination, but how to listen to the voices and stories of people around us. Our world is in a vulnerable state, environmentally, socially, and politically. In America specifically, the practice of journalism is vital because there are incidents happening on our various streets that are unknown because of repeated censorship and biased opinions. Although the freedom of speech and press are protected under the country's constitution, journalists and the people of America alike are continuing to have their rights violated. It is a very important time for people of all races, religions, and cultures to stand up. My purpose this year was to encourage the Spartan Shield staff to not only use their writing abilities, but their unique experience living in these times as young adults to provide a voice for their communities. As many of us are also directly related to a lot of the policies being passed in the government, we know firsthand the impacts these acts can have. Through the constant interviewing and reporting my team of writers conducted, we had a successful run of 7 issues throughout the year. My experience on this team taught me many skills due to the incredible guidance from our advisor, Mr. Top, who I will forever be grateful for introducing me to journalism. I cherish all of the friendships I made throughout the 3 years, but this year's staff introduced me to an amazing group of talented writers who I know will continue to thrive in the future. Without Spartan Shield, many of the voices of the students, staff, and community members would go unnoticed. And I am excited to carry on everything I learned from Mr. Ta, the staff, and the people of HP to USC. Now I will bring out our advisor, Mr. Ta.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Victoria, stay on stage for a second. All right, so before I bring on our special guest, we wanted to announce our new news for next year. So, of the returning members, for anyone who want to join journalism, I do want to introduce our next editor-in-chief for the 2026-2027 school year. We have Montse Bucio. So if you want to join, please, you'll be working over one for Montse. Montse, you got any words to say? No? Let's see it. All right, so we just want to announce that. This is our leader for next year. Give her another round of applause. All right, let's do our first guest. So I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, months ago, and I found a wonderful video that was incorporating the area that we all work in and live in, talking about Southeast Los Angeles. And the video that I saw was just great in providing knowledge for the things that are happening in our area that are affecting everyday people. I don't want to get too much into what his story is, but I wanted to bring our first guest who runs the Social Primates account, who is a podcaster and is a community activist member that's working on social media. Let's bring up our first guest. HP, welcome. Eddie Aguirre.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Eddie Aguirre. Mr. Top, thank you for this opportunity. Just to get started, I'm a community storyteller. I'm a radio and podcast host for the Social Primate. And over the last 10 years, I built a platform that focuses on conversation and community here in the Southeast LA area and beyond. And the 2 videos that I'm going to be showing you shortly really just kind of shows that community journalism happens everywhere around you. You just got to really have the time to focus and just really listen to what's going on. So here, if you want to go ahead and play the first video.
If you're from Southeast Los Angeles, you're probably used to being surrounded by industry. Whether it's places like Vernon, Maywood, or Southgate, it's kind of just been the landscape. But lately, something different has been moving in. And unless you're paying attention, you might miss it. Since the infamous Farmer John plant shut down, new construction has taken over that area, with new banners talking about essential infrastructure for the digital economy. And that's when it all clicked. Southeast LA is becoming home to data centers. And facilities like Crime Data Center and the upcoming project by Goodman Group are made to run AI and cloud infrastructure. Now keep in mind that Vernon does have access to its own utilities, but here it hits a little different. This is a region that's too familiar with the weight of environmental injustice. Take Exide Technologies as an example, a battery recycling plant in Vernon that released lead and arsenic into surrounding neighborhoods until it shuttered in 2015. Contaminating nearly 10,000 homes. And even though the infrastructure looks different, the concerns aren't new. Energy demand, water use, heat generation, and in a region already dealing with some of the worst air quality in the state, those are questions communities are right to be asking. Beyond Southeast LA, in Monterey Park, residents organized and within 5 months pressured the city council to pursue a ban. And now communities in El Monte and the City of Industry are also pushing back. Vernon may only have a population of about 200 people, but the decisions made there ripple far beyond its borders. Because in Southeast LA, what happens in Vernon doesn't just stay in Vernon.
Cool. So I mean, if you guys are familiar, we're about like maybe less than 2 miles out on Soto. And you guys are probably going to be familiar with the smell that has been, haunting this area for decades now. And really, just the kind of the process of how I came across this story was I commute from here to Griffith Park every day, right? And for a long time, I saw that Farmer John's was kind of just sitting there, just kind of polluting along with other corporations around there. And then one of these days, I recognized that the place was getting demolished. And I was like, you know what, that felt kind of like a win for our community. And shortly after, a couple months later, you started seeing like these fences come up with these banners. And I guess you saw in the video, it starts mentioning about essential infrastructure for the digital economy. And that kind of got me guessing, like, what is this going on, right? And once I started kind of, first of all, I scanned the QR code and it takes you to the website where it explains everything that's going on. And I came to the conclusion that this is becoming a data center. And to me, noticing that there's news that other places around us, also out of state, across the nation, there's been a kind of like a movement to push back against data centers. But here in Vernon, there's not really much going on. As I started kind of digging into it, I noticed that LA Public Press had already done a piece back in October about another data center that's already up and running on Santa Fe Avenue. And it got me thinking, like, we already have one going on, now we have a second. Why is there no pushback coming from our communities? Our communities are so used to getting like kind of, bullied all the time. We're kind of, all this environmental pollution happening, and I thought it was just unfair that this is happening again in another form, right? So again, a lot of this stuff kind of came from me just recognizing what was happening in my community, following those changes, and kind of just really trying to figure out why is nobody standing up for us? Like, if not us, then who? Right, so this leads me to my second video here. This one's on the flock surveillance cameras, which we also have some in Huntington Park, we have some in Bell, and kind of scattered across the region here. So if you can just play that second one.
If you're from Southeast Los Angeles, you're probably used to driving past these intersections, and maybe even without realizing that your license plates are being tracked. Recently, somebody put this on my radar. I realized just how many of these cameras there were. So I started paying closer attention across cities like Bell and Huntington Park. Now some of these are solar-powered cameras from Flock Safety, while others are mounted onto traffic infrastructure as part of Motorola's Vigilant License Plate Recognition System. Both of these are known as ALPR cameras, Automatic License Plate Readers. They photograph passing vehicles, log license plate, time, and location. In recent years, there has been concerns about how this data is shared. Investigations in California found cases where these police agencies share license plate reader data with federal authorities, including immigration agencies, despite laws meant to limit that kind of cooperation. And because of concerns like this, several California cities have paused or canceled their contracts with surveillance companies. Now, although police departments operate these systems, city governments approve the contracts, meaning city councils can change the rules or remove them entirely. Community maps like the Flock already show dozens of cameras in a small area alone. But this map is crowdsourced. And while documenting these cameras, I even came across one that wasn't even listed yet, suggesting that they may be installed faster than they're being reported. And for communities that have faced aggressive immigration enforcement over the past year, that level of surveillance raises real questions. It's about how much surveillance a community is willing to accept and who gets to decide.
Cool. So I mean, really for that one, I guess the whole purpose of these kind of videos is really just to kind of show the community that there's these things at play. Now, a lot of the times we don't have full say over what's going on, but the idea is, again, to kind of zoom out a little bit and realize that this is happening across different areas in the country. And when we start noticing that, it starts giving you some sort of power back, right? Control, because you know that as long as people organize, you guys can come together and really make an impact in your community and make the changes that you need to see. In regards to this specific video, I mean, we've all seen what's been happening to our communities over the last year with ICE, and I thought it was important to notice and kind of connect that these flock surveillance cameras in the past, in California and in, again, across the country, there's been cases where the information is being misused or given to other law enforcement agencies that are not the enforcement who's purchasing those flock systems. So what happens when that comes to light is that you start realizing that it's up to us to kind of set guardrails or to try to have the conversation with our city council members to see how much we can pull back if we need it, and again, take back that control. So at the end of the day, these videos are really just about coexisting with the people around you, kind of reflecting on your community and see what are you missing and what can you educate people with. But that basically sums up my my stuff here.
All right, let's give a round of applause for our first guest, Eddie Aguirre. No, Eddie, you want to stay for a panel? Yes. So we're going to bring out our second guest of the day. This is our Q&A session. We have a panel. Our next guest, I don't want to get too much because I know our student journalists have questions for her, but after graduating UCI in 2017, she moved on to work as a social media associate at Lamont Digital, moved on to be a panelist at Netroot Station, and then a social media manager. And then if you guys have ever read LA Taco, she worked there for about 4 years as a contributing writer. She assisted with being a podcast host for Smoke Green and Sound, and in 2022, she started, actually she's a co-founder for Los Angeles Public Press, which is an online news publication. And also she is an HP alum. So let's give a Spartan welcome to Mariah Castaneda. And to interview our two guests, we're going to bring out our two leaders of our Spartan Shield program, Victoria Gonzalez and Emily Negrete.
Like Mr. Todd said, fun fact, Mariah actually
How has journalism changed since my time here? Oh, that's a big question. Like what part of it? Confusing. Journalism program. Well, I wasn't involved in journalism program in Hyde Park High School. But what I can see now is that you all have a podcast, you all have broadcasts. It just seems like it's so well fleshed out. It seems like so many people here are really involved, and it just seems like it's expanded so much. So it makes me so excited to see this.
A bit more about that. How did you know specifically that journalism was the profession that you wanted to pursue? Like, was there any moment that you had like the idea, like, oh, like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so actually I was always interested in journalism. I just didn't know that I could do it. Like, I wasn't sure if it was something that was even viable for me. So when I was a kid, I actually lived with my grandpa for a little bit in like the middle of the desert in Adelanto. And he got the LA Times every Sunday, and he would always have me read it to him. He'd be like, yeah, can you go read this to me? And I would be like, can I go read this to you? Okay, I want to be helpful. And then I was like, I could be a journalist. And then my parents were like, no. But I got to UC Irvine. When I went to UC Irvine, I was a human biology major because I wanted to be a doctor and all that. And then I had to go take humanities class. I had to take a journalism unit, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go do that. I love journalism. I like interviewing people. I love being the first person to know something, like digging into something, investigating something made me so happy. So I was like, I'm gonna figure out a way to turn this into a viable career and something I can actually live off of.
How do you think working in journalism and taking that profession?
Oh man, let me think about those. Well, the journalism that I've done I do centers community, centers activism, and centers people making a difference in their communities, right? So when I did Smoke Screen the Sellout, when I worked on that podcast with Sony, and I interviewed about Jose Luis Sad, and I interviewed community activists and members, I really want to give space to people that were making a difference, people that were trying to basically get Jose Huizar, out of office for a long time. But I interviewed people that weren't just like your standard activists. I interviewed people that were like mariachis, people that were educators, teachers. And at LA Public Press, we also try to always center people that are trying to make, like for every problem, there's always somebody that are trying to do something differently. So right now there is CalFresh is being cut, which just means people that are on food stamps will have less access to it. So on Friday, tomorrow, we're going to be publishing a piece on people that are doing mutual aid, people that are doing food distributions, that sort of thing. So I think news is really important at one, telling what the problem is, what's going on, like Eddie here talking about Exide, Eddie here talking about data centers, but then also highlighting the people that are making a difference, the people that are like maybe doing something about it.
When doing a bit of research about what you both did, I saw that you have obviously a large social media presence, and then I saw that you co-founded LA Public Press. Can you tell us a bit more about the process of creating your own program and like how that works and how it feels to, especially being in a room with a bunch of young Latinos, like how it feels to have your own presence online?
I can start that off. I mean, really, just to kind of give you guys some context of my end, back when I was in your guys' age in high school, I was like in the punk scene, so I was really about like do it yourself, kind of like pushing back and just kind of reclaiming narrative, right? But basically, as soon as I started getting a little older and started realizing how I wanted to approach this stuff, like, I forgot the question, to be honest. What was the question again?
How it feels having your own presence on social media, like doing it yourself.
So yeah, I mean, it feels great because again, I grew up in this community, right? I've kind of seen how it's evolved over the last couple of decades, and just seeing that in itself, being able to create something that I know that other people are craving, right? We all want to see our stories told, but a lot of the time we're not used to seeing ourselves in those stories, that it's really hard for you to even know that your stuff is valuable. So just being able to have this platform and create it has just really kind of helped me reflect how we all have a sense of wanting to be together in a community. And in order for us to do that, we need to look at the real truths and kind of like the ugly side of things and really see how we can shift that. And then together, again, it's been an adventure.
Yeah, so for me, I kind of switched between voter advocacy and politics, and then also news. And I worked at LA Taco basically from 2018 to 2022 also. But when I was a student here at Huntington Park High School, I remember being at one of my friend's house, and I remember watching TV, and I don't remember if it was like CBS or KTLA. It was one of those like normal news stations, right? And I remember they were talking about undocumented immigrants. They were talking about immigrants, and they used a really ugly word to describe them, and I did not like it. And we are a very Latino immigrant community here in Huntington Park, right? And something we're very proud of. And I remember thinking, wow, if only somebody could go educate them and tell them like that's not true. Like they're just uneducated. Someone needs to get into the news and help them be more educated, right? And that's not how it works. But I wanted to make media that centered us, right? Centered the people that make LA work, right? And it's all of us. It's brown people, it's black people, it's Asian folks, it's all people of color. We power LA. But our media at the time was not reflecting that. Our media at the time was incredibly white, and it has been for a very long time. So I wanted to make a newsroom that looked like LA, that was made of people that loved LA, and we're gonna ride for LA, right? So that's why I built LA Public Press. It's so important to not only have a media outlet that is diverse, but to also be able to provide jobs that have healthcare and the 401k and all those good things. It's gonna go somewhere else with that, but also highlighting like important stories like Exide. I found out about Exide not when I was here. Exide was something that was still happening and polluting us when I was here going to high school. And I didn't find out about it until I went to college, and I was really mad about it. I was like, wait, so you mean when I was out there doing PE and running track and cross country that like I was being exposed to lead? So that became something I was really upset about. And I decided that at LA Public Press we were going to be covering environmental injustice and environmental harm, and making sure we're working with different nonprofit organizations that way like folks could actually read us and get the information that they need.
where you mentioned that you worked for both Latino and Eddie. Your content is mainly based around Southeast LA. So how has that experience been for you, especially coming from a community like HP that's been hit by the current administration?
So Vocal Latino, okay, let me think about this. So it's a mixture of things, right? I used to work at Fusion, which was Univision's English-speaking outlet at the time. I reported on immigrant detention centers. So I think what I've learned is that the issues that we're having today have been going on for a really long time, but they've been building up. They've been building up since the Bush administration, the Obama administration, then the Trump administration, and again, you know, Biden and Trump, right? All of these issues don't come out of nowhere. Anyways, I can go on a soapbox, I'm not gonna do that. But what I learned at Vocal Latino was that a lot of Democratic and a lot of, actually as politicians in general, they don't reach out to our communities. They don't think that we're gonna vote. They don't think that we're going to be politically active or do anything. They do things we don't like. So Vocal Latino, it was really about empowering Latino voters and getting us to the polls and making politicians actually be afraid of us and actually want to listen to our communities. But in order to do that, we have to educate our communities. We have to make it easy. We have to make it engaging for people to understand. So I learned how to do like messaging there. So instead of having a really long headline that's like this happened and this and this and this, we're gonna shorten it to 3 words as much as we can so that people can understand it. Because people are busy, people are tired. And I took that lesson into news.
How has that experience been for you, especially coming from a community like HP that has been hit by the current administration?
Yeah, I mean, really just to kind of, sum everything up that I've been doing is just really, community drives us, and I think we've kind of forgotten that along the way. I think the key part in all of this, and the way it's affected me, is just that, when I first started, the idea was to kind of just get my story out, right? And then I started kind of opening up that scope and started realizing that others needed to have their stories told as well. So by me kind of putting myself into that world, it really started letting me see my community from a different angle. Like I started noticing, like, okay, if I'm gonna be present in the community, then I also have to show respect to the people who reside in it. I also have to value and honor the stories that I'm being told. And that in itself, again, at least from the feedback and reception that I've gotten from the type of work that I've done, it just feels relatable. Like it captures something that we already experience and live day by day, and just kind of puts it in the forefront of things, and just makes it, again, makes your stories real.
Government, stuff like that. Has there been any limitations in your work and how that's impacted what you do, and how can you able to move past these limitations?
So which kinds of limitations do you want to talk about? There's different ones. There's financial, and then there are the physical ones. All right, we'll start with physical, but honestly, I don't think that's what you say. I think they're both difficult. So physical, I'm not sure this happened to you too, but last year when the protests were happening during the ICE raids, when they're still ongoing, of course. But yeah, LAPD and LA Sheriff's Department deployed tear gas on journalists and on the press and also on protesters. They also shot less lethal foam bullets at a journalist. They try to trample us with horses, just things that are not fun and are to discourage the press and are to keep us from doing our jobs and telling our stories. So I can start there, and then there's the financial stuff, but and that's basically like, they don't have to necessarily shoot us in order to get to stop telling our stories. They can take away funding. They can make it easier for you to not get the money that you need in order to pay your staff. I would say that's another barrier. People have to eat, people need their health care, and that sort of thing as well.
I mean, for myself, I'm mostly like an independent community, activist, storyteller, you can say. So really my limitations have mostly been just how many places I can be at once. And on top of that, how fast news moves nowadays. Like, we're all aware of, like, right now if we look at our phones in the next hour, there's breaking news on 5 different things. So you kind of have to figure out, like, okay, not what story is more valuable, but what can you bring in terms of perspective and how it connects to the people? Because that's my thing. How does it connect to the people? I'm a community member first, rather than a radio show host and everything else. I live here. I know what's going on, so I need to make sure that I approach that in that way. But it's very limiting because I'm just the one person. Like there's only so much that I can do. So you kind of have to make sure that you find that balance.
In times such as these, how do you ensure that your sources are accurate and up to date?
Our sources, like the people that we interview.
And like write stories about them.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna want to vet everyone that you interview. Of course, you want to vet them. You want to make sure they are who they say they are. There's that. But also, like, sometimes people need to be anonymous, like for safety reasons. So if someone's an immigrant, someone's undocumented, obviously the editor and the reporter is gonna know who they are. I might even know, but we're not gonna be publishing their names because we do not need people to be, I never wanna be the reason why somebody got detained, right? I never wanna be the reason why someone got deported. The thing that I tell our staff is we should always be making decisions that we can go to bed with at night.
How do you verify your sources when you're creating content to make sure things up to date?
Yeah, I mean, so I like to cross-reference a lot of data. Like I mentioned about the data center one, I found some articles on LA Public Press from October, and I kind of just started connecting the pieces. So really it's just about, again, verifying where the sources are coming from. I, for a fact, trust what LA Public Press releases as well. But on top of that, it's really, again, reaching out to those individuals themselves to kind of find out, is there something that you maybe left out? Was there something like a thread that you maybe didn't chase? And that kind of gives you a better view of what this story is, right? And then with that, at least the way I work, in these videos, I'm narrating myself. So I have to also make sure that I'm providing the context for what I'm trying to do, but at the same time make it accessible for just people in the community. Because again, that's my main target. I don't see them as an audience per se, because again, I'm a community member first, and I need to make sure that information reaches to them how it would reach me organically here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please give them a round of applause. We have some gifts for you guys as well. I hope you got encouraged to join journalism, and if not, maybe you found a profession that you were interested in or maybe wanted to learn more. We will be hosting interviews very soon, possibly next week. So if anyone's interested, talk to Mr. Ta or any other of the staff members you saw. We put in a lot of hard work to make this at the end of the year, so thank you again everyone for coming and listening, and have a good day. One last thing, a lot of us are seniors, and so we made one final sign-out video.
Class of 2025, here.
Class of 2026.
And maybe future cameraman right here.
Future cameraman, maybe.
This is us, this is me signing off. And hopefully, next time you should open this camera, it'll be Mauricio signing on. Maybe. Hey, we'll see.
Dolphins can swim.
again, everyone, please make sure to follow our social media. Thank you for coming. Can all of the Spartan Shield staff please come up stage?
Ask me to take the pictures. It's all set up ready?
It's recording still.
Oh, can you? Yeah, he wants me to take pictures.
Pictures? Okay.
Yeah.